Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here today on Teslanomics Live. I'm really excited because, well, it's been a couple weeks since I've been here and there's just a lot to cover. If you have any questions or anything throughout the broadcast and you want me to answer them, hold them till the end because that's when I'll do the live Q&A. And thanks to everyone that submitted your questions in advance. If you're unfamiliar with that, go get on our email list at teslanomics.co and you'll be prompted before this program begins to submit your questions so I can cover them at the end here. Okay, so we have a lot to cover, and I have links down in the description below in case you miss anything. You can check that out later, but please wait until I actually cover those topics to start asking questions about them. Okay, so for today, it is actually my son's birthday. So I want to give a big, I guess, shout out to him. Thank you, Jack, for teaching me a lot about life and what it means to be a father and a parent. And I hope you're having a fun day at school. Here's a photo of him at school where they're throwing him a big party and doing all kinds of stuff like that. He was a real trooper. We just got back from 9 days of traveling, so forgive me for not being here last Monday and joining you guys. But anyways, we're back now, and yeah, I love you, son, and I hope you're having a fun day. So there's that, and that's probably all the photos you're gonna see of Jack. I try to keep him out of this stuff as much as I can. So okay. All right, so next up we have my short. And if you're new here, what I do is I talk about the long and the short. So these are, the long is the thing that I am excited about, that I'm betting on, borrowing a term from the markets and the economy. And the short is the thing I'm betting against or the thing I don't like. So I'm going to just start it right out, get this out of the way. And this is my short for the week. The short is Elon speaking at the National Governors Association. I have a screenshot of the photo here. Just to recap, this is all the governors from different states. I think they had 30 plus governors from different states in the United States. And if you're unfamiliar with that, governors are like presidents of the state. So, you have the federal government, then you have the local government, and they're like the top dog in the government of the state within the United States. So for those of you joining me from abroad or watching this later. So he was there, and I've criticized him before. Elon's just not a great public speaker. He doesn't have that Steve Jobs-esque thing. I think he's much more of an inventor, and he's better behind the scenes. But, not to say I don't like hearing him speak, but this was particularly drab. I was not a fan of this interview. Let me just get the bullet points out of the way, the things he did talk about here. He said that there will be 2 to 3 gigafactories in the U.S. over the next several years, a couple overseas. So this is more than he had previously reported, but really not a big surprise. I did mark that down, though, as just a note that, hey, he did confirm that. And that's good because if you watch the video I had a couple weeks ago, I did the data analysis on it, and I looked and said, there's really no way they can produce 1 million cars with what they currently have, even with the gigafactory fully up and running. So what they need are more factories. And so this is good news. Now, one thing that stood out to me was how Elon measures success for Tesla. And he said, if we've accelerated the transition by 10 years, that's a great success. And what he's talking about is the transition to sustainable energy and sustainable transportation. And he went into detail about this, and I love that there is a metric for them. I am insanely curious about how they actually measure that. Now, I've been trying to toy with it on my end, and I may come out with a metric to figure out how fast they are accelerating it. But of course, there'll be lots of assumptions and stuff that we have to make to come up with a metric like that. So I thought that was an interesting point. You can go watch it on YouTube, and there's a bunch of other sites that have it. One thing that he really got me, and I think a lot of people down here, was when he was talking about AI and artificial intelligence and how he thinks we need to regulate in advance of it actually coming to fruition. And the idea being that we can't wait for AI to cause damage to our world to regulate it, because that's typically how things happen. If you think about a lot of technology advances well in advance of laws and regulations. And then some people get hurt or some bad things happen, and then a committee is formed, and then years later we have some laws or some things to regulate it. And it's one thing to say that smaller government may be better, let the markets do their thing. I understand that perspective and I share it. But this is one where this could, in his words, have the potential to, end human existence. This could be the end of life as we know it. So he had this whole drab kind of run on, and that's kind of what got me down about this whole talk. One thing he did say that I thought was nice, it goes with my idea of a bold series prediction, was that 50% of new cars will be electric in 10 years, no steering wheel within 20 years. And you can see that on Teslarati here. And I thought that was kind of neat. I think that's pretty bold. 50% of new cars will be electric in 10 years. I don't know if that's, I'm thinking 2025, 2026 is the average of what I'm seeing and hearing. So yeah, that may be true, but we'll see. No steering wheel is a question. Is still up in the air. So I'm short on this. I didn't like the talk. I think I don't know. Let's get the Model 3 underway before we get too deep into these kind of things. So, okay. Now, let's move on to something that I'm long on, and this is the Tesla service upgrades. So if you didn't see this recently, Tesla put out this video, and it summarizes kind of what's going on with them. So they're upgrading their service offering with some over-the-air updates, with all kinds of new features, as well as a lot of new service centers, new mobile units, new technicians. They're going to be tripling their worldwide capacity. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you've seen that I've had some issues before, and I've done videos on them. I try to share those experiences with you so you know what you're getting into when you buy a Tesla. And I can say that the mobile service thing is pretty awesome. They come to your house or wherever you're at. In fact, I'll get into it later, but yesterday I had a guy come have to tow my car because I had some issues with my tires. But this is great news. So they're being smart about it. We knew that they were doing something, and now we have a few more details here. So cheers to Tesla for really making a statement here and doing this. I think that this is going to go a long way to ensure the quality of the overall experience with Tesla, which really is what sets them apart. If you think about Tesla, they're not just, the fact that they make cars is kind of on the last thing about them that's important. The first thing is their mission and why they exist. The next thing is how they do it, how they go about it. They have this physics first mindset when they make products. And then the last thing is what they actually make. They make cars and home batteries and, rooftops that generate electricity and things like that. So I think that they need to make sure that the service offering and everything else that goes along with them really holds up their brand. Otherwise, it could really hurt them. So cheers to them for doing this. And, I'm looking forward to getting my Model 3 and hopefully don't have any service issues too far. In fact, I think I missed a call because they're trying to hook me up with some new tires for mine. Okay, next, just some news items to cover. Volvo is going all electric, sort of. It's not fully electric, but it is a big move from Volvo, and they're a really good car manufacturer. I particularly like the safety of their vehicles, of course, and the designs of some of the newer ones are really nice. Now, this is a big shift, and I think we're going to start to see more manufacturers come out and make statements like this. Just to recap a little bit about this, the announcement marks the end of the solely combustion engine powered car, Volvo's president and chief executive said in a statement. Volvo said Wednesday that starting in 2 years, its cars will be electric, plug-in hybrids, or mild hybrids. Don't know what a mild hybrid is. We'll find out. Beginning 2019 and 2021, Volvo will launch 3 fully electric cars and 2 high-performance electric cars from Polestar, which will be spun off into a separate premium car company. Volvo said these 5 cars will be supplemented by a range of petrol and diesel plug-in hybrid and mild hybrid 48-volt options on all models. This means that there will in the future be no Volvo cars without an electric motor, as pure ICE cars are gradually phased out and replaced by EVs that are enhanced with electrified options, the company's statement said. So, great. I'm excited about this. I think Volvo is going to really win a lot of praise from the EV folks like myself. They make great cars, and if they do a good job with this, then more power to them. They'll be kind of riding on Tesla's coattails, but could really be a major player because they're doing it pretty early. 2019 and 2021 in manufacturing terms is tomorrow. That means that they're probably already started on this. They're probably already hiring. They're probably already figuring all that stuff out. So cheers to Volvo for really being bold and progressive here, and moving us towards a sustainable form of transportation. Okay, now we've got some fun stuff. The Model 3 is officially here. Hallelujah. We can see the real production model. Elon tweeted some photos, I think it was last week. And there's also a video, which I'll show you here, which is... This is funny. So the guy in the car, what is he, the VP of engineering, I think? I forget. And this is hilarious to me because this other guy, I don't know, I assume these guys are all Tesla employees, but he comes up and tries to open the door and start taking photos, and the other guy just kind of looks at him like, hey, bro, what are you doing? Leave me alone. So I thought this was pretty funny. But anyways, yeah, the big news, of course, and you guys I'm sure have all heard this, is that the Tesla, right here, he opens the door, and he's like, excuse me, I'm trying to park. Get out of my way. I'm surprised we haven't seen more photos of this, or maybe there are, and we they haven't come out yet. But that's awesome. So really excited about getting my Model 3. Excited about learning more about this car. I assume a lot more details are going to be coming out as more and more people get the ability to configure it. So yeah, there's that. And I actually, someone commented right at the beginning of this. Someone saw a serial number 316, which indicates that there may be already over 300 of these cars produced. That wouldn't actually surprise me based on the little glimpse of the fallen curtain and things I saw at the Fremont factory. I don't have any hard evidence on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually quite a few of these out there, and Tesla's going to make a big splash, maybe in the coming weeks. So this gets to the next item, which is that I've received and am going to the Model 3 delivery event in Fremont, California on July 28th. Thank you to everybody who helped me share the referral code that I had and really build this community, because without you, I wouldn't be getting to do this. And because I've promised that if I got the invite, I would do a video on it, I am fully set up. I'm going to be doing a whole vlog setup, and it's totally not what I normally do, so please forgive me if the quality isn't great, but I'm going to do my best, and I'm bringing a filmer and everything else with me, trying to do as much as I can to share this experience with you, because I wouldn't be there without you. So that's awesome. So thank you so much for the invite, or for helping me get that. The confirmation email looks like this, and you can see here are the details. So invitations are non-transferable. IDs will be checked upon arrival. Yada yada. Doors open at 7. There will be food and drinks. Yay. Somebody, I assume Elon, will be there talking. It might be cold, all that kind of stuff. Parking and charging. I'm flying. It's kind of a long drive for me from San Diego. Here's some hotels that people are staying at, which I'm not staying at any of those. And so anyways, confirmed, going. And in fact, we may have another Tesla YouTuber meetup. I don't know what we'll call it. Maybe TeslaCon 1.5, because I know Trevor from Model 3 Owners Club, and Ken, and the mystery man on the Like Tesla channel is coming, as well as Ryan McCaffrey, who has his podcast, the unofficial Tesla podcast, Ride the Lightning, and Zach and Jesse from Now You Know. So we're all going to be there together. We met up at the last event, so we're going to try to meet up again and maybe just do a fun live stream Q&A. I don't know. But stay tuned for that. There's going to be so much content coming out from me and all the other folks that you love here on YouTube. So that's going to be fun. Okay, so let me just check in. All right, looks like you guys are still getting the comments and everything. Everything's good. Okay, check in on the video there. Make sure. Now, the next thing I wanted to share. Okay, so let me just set this up. In fact, hold on. Let me get rid of the screen here. I don't want you to jump ahead. Okay, so as a YouTuber, it's really hard to make these videos every single week. I, in fact, have a team of people that I employ part-time now, and it's a big part of my life, right? It's becoming the main thing I do, the main thing I'm passionate about, the main thing I spend a lot of my time on. So when we make videos, sometimes we may sound, I don't know, dumb, or we may sound like we don't know what we're talking about, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's true. It maybe just means that we flubbed our words, or, you know, we missed that one little detail here and there. And so it's tough, right? And anybody that wants to criticize and just, you know, talk shit to somebody else that is making content, I say make your own, try to do it yourself first, and then you'll have a new appreciation for it. Kind of like if somebody messes up a note when they're playing a song, but you don't even play an instrument, right? It's tough. So recently, some YouTubers made a video about getting rid of their Tesla. And this is the What's Inside family. And so these guys have another channel called What's Inside. And what they do is, and I'm just playing the video here, what they do is they cut things open. I think they started as this was a school project for his son, and what they were doing was just cutting things open and seeing what was inside of them. And they grew that channel to over 1 million subscribers now, maybe even more. And then they did one here. This is their family vlog style, and this one's over 450,000 subscribers as well. So these guys are big time YouTubers, right? And I think they make really good content. So he made a video here about getting rid of his Tesla because of the tires. Now, the point was that he lives in Salt Lake City, or I assume so. He lives in Utah, where it snows, and this is a rear-wheel drive car. And if you know anything about that, that's not good news. You don't want a rear-wheel drive car in snow, preferably. You want an all-wheel drive car, and if not that, a front-wheel drive car. So what he's saying in the video is, hey, this isn't working for my family, and in fact, these tires wear out really quickly. And I know that because this just happened to me. I'll talk about that in a second. So they did this video, and Jalopnik, which is a blog that talks about all the auto industry and all kinds of fun stuff like that, did a total hit piece on these guys, and we're just totally tearing them down over this video. Like, oh, what a moron. He's getting rid of his car for tires, blah, blah, blah. But really the point is that the rear-wheel drive only option isn't safe, and the tires wear down a lot faster than on other vehicles because it's of how they're off camber. They're set in a little bit. And so he has a totally valid point. And people just really, I mean, look at that. 6,000 likes and almost 12,000 dislikes. So, man, if you thought about disliking this video, think about the broader perspective a little bit, and think about how hard it is to do this beforehand. I think these guys make great content. I've been watching their channel for a long time, and I would recommend going and checking them out. There's the What's Inside family, and then they should have the other one listed here too. Geez, it's probably hidden on my page. But the other one's called What's Inside, and that's just their other one where they just cut things open and see what's inside of them. So go check them out. Please give them some love. Please don't hate on them because of this. They do have some cool Tesla videos and those kind of things. But man, I was just really distraught about that because I don't know. It just sucks because I think these guys really took it to heart. Now, me personally, if Jalopnik did a hit piece on me, I would love it. I relish the hate that I get from the dumb shit I say. And I've said it before, I'm not the smartest car guy in the world. I'm a tech guy that, I'm a data scientist by trade, and I love Tesla. Oh, see, so I was totally wrong. 4.7 million subscribers. So these guys are not new and not small by any means. So anyways, please just go give them some love and check out their videos. I think they do a great job. Okay, enough of my rant about that. And by the way, Jalopnik, shame on you if you really were hating on them for this, because you guys are write the same kind of baity pieces as well. So whatever. Okay, enough of that. About that. I had some tire issues as well, and so this was kind of funny. This literally happened yesterday. I was at another 2-year-old birthday party for one of my son's friends, and they gave me these hideous wheels. So I pulled in, and one of the tires popped when I got there, and they came to, in 20, 30 minutes, they showed up with a fresh, hideous tire for me, and I know some of you guys like this. No judgment, but I think this is the most hideous rim I've ever seen of a car. They put it on, and it seemed like it was fine. But then we checked out this is what the tire looked like on the inside, and this is what I'm saying. On the outside, it looks like it's kind of balding, but on the inside, it's totally balding because they sit a little bit off camber. Now, in fact, there on the bottom is where it popped. So this is the other tire, and you can even kind of see how it sits at an angle there. So the other tire was just as bad, and so they told me that there was no way that the guy said, look, you're not going to make it 5-10 miles on this. I have to tow your car. So he towed the car, and somebody asked me about why the hood was up. It's because there's no, typically you hook up underneath a car, there are hooks and things on the frame so you can attach a tow truck to it. But on this one, because underneath the car is the battery, they don't have that. So they have these different little things in the front where you put in this big kind of eye loop to go in. So that's what he was doing there, if you guys saw those photos. Then, and you can see it sticking out right there. So get this. So he couldn't actually put it in tow mode. So if you're in the car, you're in park, you hit the brake, it's on, you go into settings, there's a thing called tow mode, which allows it to remain unlocked. Because if you just put it in neutral and get out, it'll go into park. It won't stay in neutral. So you have to put it into tow mode, but for whatever reason, mine wouldn't do it. Tesla service said it was a software update, and so he actually had to drive it onto the bed of the truck, which he absolutely said was not recommended. And this guy even is the guy that trains other tow truck drivers how to tow Teslas. He said he's towed over 100 and something Teslas. So anyways. That's what happened with my car right now, and she is off to the shop. Like I said, I think I missed a phone call from them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So hopefully they'll have some new tires for me or something going on. So yeah, that's what's going on there. It's sad, I know. But yeah, apparently the tires don't last very long because of how they're set. I've only got 27,000 miles on the car. So even, and these were brand new, the original tires. So that is a lot less than I'm used to, but apparently is typical for more high performance vehicles. Okay, so there's that. And now I wanted to share something that I think is so awesome. This is not a real car, by the way. This is just an artist rendering. But there is now the secret level prize for top referrers, of which I am one. So if you or anyone you know is looking to buy a Tesla, you can use my referral code. You can go to teslanomics.co/TD to learn more. And then from there, you have to become my friend first and foremost, and then you'll be able to get $1,000 off of your purchase price, as well as your free supercharging for the life of the car, I believe. Anyways, go to teslanomics.co/TD, learn more, and then it'll give you all the details there when you go. And share that with anyone else you know. It'll help, again, get me little cool rewards. The bigger benefit is to you and the person buying the car. And then, as I get things like if event invites, I'll be going to them and sharing with them, sharing those experiences with you as well. So yeah, this is kind of cool. And the reason I'm mentioning this is not just to pump my referral code. It's because it's kind of ridiculous. Let me show you what it is here. And this is what it looks like when you log into on the website. And it actually gives you the marker. If you get 50 referrals, 50 by the end of the year, you get a free next-gen Roadster. Yeah, so okay. And somebody did ask, well, what details do we have about the next-gen Roadster? The only one I know of is where Elon here said that, potentially it could go 0 to 60 in under 2. But, we'll see. I don't know of any other details out there besides that. Okay, so, and today in cool, so I'm adding long, short, and this is just cool. Just a week ago was Nikola Tesla's birthday. So he would be 161 years old. Obviously, this is the person that the car company or energy company is named after, and somebody that greatly changed our entire world. So happy birthday, Nikola Tesla. Okay, now I have a question for you guys. And then I'm going to go into the Q&A. In fact, I haven't even set this up, so I need to make sure I have it going. The question is, would you like to see a third video per week? Right now, I have the live news on Monday, and then they have and then I have my analysis video on Thursday. I'm thinking about doing Monday live news, Wednesday analysis, and Friday more fun, kind of crazy video. So if you're into that thing, let me know by liking this video or hitting me up in the comments down below after the fact. So yeah, so that's just something about the channel. I am upping it. I'm hiring some more people to help me do research and those kind of things. So I'm really trying to up this, and I just love interacting with you guys. So let me know down below. Okay, now let me get to the Q&A, and I will answer your questions. In fact, let me pull it up because I didn't have it up yet. Q&A. And if you have questions now, feel free to go ahead and ask down below. As I add this to my browser, I apologize for not having this in advance. There was just so much insane stuff to cover today. Okay, so I've got that up and running. And now let me jump over here, and there we go. Okay, so first question from Jel Peters, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Are there any details on the new Tesla Roadster? Just shared that. Beyond the 0 to 60 and under 2, I'm not sure. Samuel from Germany. What comes after Model 3, pickup, and Model Y? Please share your ideas about your Tesla Semi and the tiny house. I enjoy such ideas. Keep up the very good work. Your channel is exciting. Well, thanks for joining me, and thanks for asking from Germany. I've never been to Germany, but I hear it's beautiful, and I would love to go. What comes after that? Well, so to recap, if people aren't familiar, the Model 3 is kind of the cheaper version of the Model S. The Model Y is going to be the cheaper version of the Model X. And you can disagree with those, how I word that, but whatever. Then, they said they're going to do a pickup. I haven't actually seen any details about that yet, but the Tesla Semi event is coming in the unveiling is coming in September. I should be getting an invite to that as well because of you and all the help you've given me by sharing out, the community here and building it. But yeah, I'm going to do a video on this crazy idea I have of getting a Tesla Semi and putting a tiny house on the back and loading it up with solar. I'll try to do as much kind of research as I can on that. Beyond that, I think it would make sense for them to go really hard into the full-size pickup market. After the success of the Model 3, Tesla's going to other manufacturers are really going to see what's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if other companies are already working on this. But for example, GM, who makes Chevy and a lot of the big popular trucks and SUVs in the United States, they could, I think, do a tremendous job if they electrified the full-size pickup. If they made, a 2500 HD electric car or electric truck that had twice as much torque and power, and because it's so much bigger, you could, get 500 miles on a charge or something like that, I think you would see a huge success for other companies. So I think Tesla, after the 3 and the Y, I'm just going to put the Semi aside for now, needs to go after the pickup truck market. Okay, thanks Samuel for the question. Next we have Aitor Alonso Quintero. Do you think Tesla will have established a European headquarters in order to maximize production and meet Tesla Model 3 production promises? No, I don't think so. I think the regulations in Europe make it kind of too difficult and to do that this quickly. Maybe down the road, but I'm pretty confident they're going to do one at least in China and maybe one in South or Latin America. We'll say somewhere south of Mexico. Thanks for the question. Okay. Carlos, Tesla presence in Europe to the right of Germany is almost non-existent. I've seen somewhere that they plan to make destination charges someplace in the Baltic states, but nothing more than it is plans is known to me. When, if ever, will they offer something in Baltic states? I don't know. You know, they have a long rollout strategy here, so it'll be a while before I think they get over there. It depends on demand, you know. So we'll see how that goes. Kip asks, hi, Ben. I really enjoy your live show and videos. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. I know a few people have Model 3 reservations, and they aren't going to buy a Model 3. Couldn't wait and bought a Model S already. Good choice. What are the options for these reservation holders? So this gets into a question about what do you do? Is there a market for Model 3 reservations? I've had some people email me about this. I don't know what the legal rules are, but certainly these are valuable, and I can see something happening. I don't know if it'll be a black market per se, or just a website that you can do this and make the arrangements. It depends on the legality. So yeah, keeping the tax credits, I'm not sure, but I think this is a really interesting question that I want to dig deeper into. Thanks for the question. Medard asks, when will my Tesla ship? For a reservation made on May 31st, 2016. Go to teslanomics.co/Model 3 estimator and find out. Next, Jeff Price. Hey, Jeff. With the new rollout of the Model 3 soon to hit the streets, would you foresee new style Model S trade-ins for sale? Close to buying and debating brand new versus used. You know, I've seen quite a few already. Let me just see what's in there, because well, the real thing about buying used is autopilot, and from everything I understand, autopilot 1 is still pretty good. So let's see what happens. So when I search this Model S, you know, they're getting pretty expensive. Sort by price, low to high. Let's take a look. Yeah, 50,000, 51,000. And then, but if I search for autopilot, you can see that, you know, original autopilot on a few of them. And so there are already some out there. I wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't really think, and see there's even one with enhanced autopilot. So I don't think we're going to see a flood of Model S's for sale because of the Model 3. I just don't. I think people are going to hang on to their S's and maybe just get a Model 3 as well. Also, you know, if you didn't already order your Model 3 long ago, then you're probably not going to be changing it out. So, you know, if you see one that you like, man, just go for it. New is fantastic if you can afford it, but, you know, depending on what features are important to you, you may be able to get a big discount. So thanks for the question. Trevor asks, whatever happened to the Tesla battery swap? I know. That's what I want. You know, you drive up, it pops down your battery, a new one comes in. As far as I know, they filed a patent for it, but never did it, and I don't think they're going to do it. So there's that. Eric asks, do you think that we're going to get multiple color options on the Model 3? Yes, absolutely. I believe we've seen 7 to date. Don't know which ones. We'll find out when the configurator is released soon. Oh, geez. Advar Vike? Hopefully I pronounced that somewhat right. Regarding the hitch, the Tesla Model 3 will have a hitch. Will it? Okay, I have heard. Very good. How much do you think we'll be able to pull in kilos, please? Well, I just read about this the other day that a Tesla Model S can pull something like 5,000 pounds, which would be akin to, I don't know, 2,200 kilos or something like that. So I would say a little bit less than that, maybe. Depends on what you're trying to pull. It would look kind of funny, I think, having a tiny car with a giant trailer, but should be able to pull quite a bit. So hopefully we'll find out more soon. Thanks for the question. Martin from Nashville, Tennessee. Hey, Martin. I haven't been to Nashville, but I have a friend from there, and he's always begging me to go, so maybe I will make a stop sometime soon. Which of the wheels we have seen going to be optional and will be standard equipment? I don't actually know. I assume the one that we just saw from Elon will be pretty close to the official one. Let me go see if I can find out where it is. Yeah, I mean, I imagine these might be standard right here. We've seen, I think, several cars with these. I sincerely hope the aerodynamic wheels are not the not the ones. So we'll find out more soon. Thanks for the question. Jan asks, when do you predict that I will receive my Model 3? I live in Stockholm, Sweden, and signed up for a Model 3. I will most probably go for the one with the larger battery capacity. Well, if you take a look at my Model 3 estimator, you can find out exactly when I would predict. It'll probably be a while because it's in Europe and those tend to ship later. But I have talked to some people about this, that Tesla may halt a U.S. production because they don't want to hit the 200,000 car in the U.S. sold mark at an inopportune time, meaning because that's when the tax credit starts to phase out. So they may hold off and start doing European production early. That's pure speculation at this point. But yeah, just go check it out. And the video I think you need to find is the one that says, when will I get my Model 3? So go look for that on the site. And I apologize, I don't have search enabled on the site yet. I need to add that, but yeah, you know, more people, more time. Carly asks, when are they going to redesign the X body style? I assume when the Model Y comes out. Eric asks, should a smart EV owner only operate the EV from a charge state of minimum of 20% to maximum of 80%? This is about the battery life. Yeah, so by default, it only goes up to 80 because they want to reduce that. And people that continually go over than that can even be have a Tesla change it so you can't charge as fast anymore. So yeah, I don't know about between 80 and 20, between 20 and 80. But yeah, so that's kind of the basics of how it works today. Eric also asks, do you have any thoughts on whether or not one's Tesla should last for greater than 200,000 miles? I do. I did a video on this called Battery Degradation. Or just search for that on my channel. You'll find it. There was some data from Martin Steinbuck, who he actually did the blog post and someone else is doing the data, but whatever. If you find those things, you'll find the post. And the most recent data suggests that a Tesla battery should last around, I think it was 310,000 miles. Or 500,000 kilometers. So go check that out. Mr. Bill, currently live in the Tampa area, ordered a Model 3 on April 16th. My brother-in-law lives in Berkeley. Is it possible to pick up the Model 3 on vacation next year when we available versus waiting on the East Coast shipment and availability? P.S. I'd love to challenge of driving it across country on the way home. Well, I can't confirm this, but I would imagine that Tesla would let you pick it up at the Fremont facility rather than shipping it. And those things, if don't own a Tesla already, basically once it comes time to buy it and you're in touch with the salesperson, they kind of work with you in all these arrangements and those kind of things. So it sounds like a pretty viable option. It would save them money, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it. And then another Mr. Bill also asked, Model 3 crash rating was not as robust as targeted 5-star for driver and passenger off-center crash test. I don't know. I haven't seen the Model 3 crash rating yet. So yeah, maybe they'll work on it some more. Edmund, how likely will it be that the Tesla 3 can drive at least 350 or 400 miles? That's a stretch. Will there be an option for a 75 kilowatt hour battery? Yes, that will be the default. That will be the bigger battery. I'm speculating that all of them will be 75 kilowatt hours and they'll just be software limited. How likely will it get above 300? I think very likely. We've seen some evidence of that, but 350 to 400 is beyond, I think, what's capable right now or what it'll do. John from Madison, Wisconsin asks, my S was born July 2015, so free supercharging goes with the car, but it's AP1. How do you think the resale value compares to an S with superchargers for original owner, but has AP2? I'm thinking in terms of depreciation relative to new price, not actual dollars. Well, having autopilot will definitely help you. Autopilot 1 is going to be, have less value than autopilot 2, obviously, but still I think it'll hold its value pretty well. Really, I think what the depreciation, when you look, there were some studies, Autolist.com did a study, and I did a video about this. You can go check it out. They had these numbers that were insanely low. But I think what happens is every time Tesla has a major advancement, and I think we're going to see some major advancements here in the next year in the Model S and X, that's when you see the depreciation really fall off. I mean, for example, my car I bought for just over $50,000 used with something like 10,000 miles on it. Brand new, it was like $90,000. So yeah, I mean, that's a huge drop. So it really depends. If you're looking to get a new one and the money's not an issue, then I would kind of go with it now. But really, these cars are going to last a long, long time, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. BCJ asks, if you could do it, would you upgrade your Model S60 to a Model S90 or 100? Yes, absolutely. I can do it. It just costs $22 or something $1,000, so I'm not going to. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for those questions. I'm going to pop over now, and I'll see if I can take some of yours live from the chat. Now, I apologize if I missed anyone's super chat, but I'm going to do the live Q&A now, so go ahead and ask your questions. And then in there, what we'll have is the super chat is the little money symbol. If you want to make sure I call you out and answer your question, you can hit that. Spend $1 or $2, and your name will pop up. Okay, so let's see what we have. Eddie asks, hey Eddie, do you know if Tesla employees outside of California will receive theirs before regular Model 3 reservation holders? Do you know? Whoa. It's flying by. Do you know count of Tesla employees in existing Model N or in Model 3 line? I need some water to answer this. Hold on. So yeah, in the model I have to predict your spot in line, I had to estimate the percentage of people that are employees that have reservations, and those originally came from the guys at Tesla Motors Club. So you can go search for that, or you can go. Yeah, in fact, I think if you go to the Model 3 estimator I built. On the results page down below, there's a link to the thing on Tesla Motors Club. You can go on there, and there's a ton more detail. I left it off because I wanted it to be really simple and easy for people to use, but I wanted also people to find the detail if they really wanted to dig in. So there you go. Brian Seeley asked, waiting on my Model 3, is the $35,000 base model a reality? Not wanting any frills, just a stripped down model. Maybe in the future. As far as I know, you won't be able to get that out of the gate, and that's not 100%. But the folks I've talked to, the strategy, the folks I've talked to about this, and the strategy that they went with the past is if you wanted the higher end models with the more features, you got it sooner. So that is kind of what's going on there. Now, if you want the $35,000 model, yes, it will exist, but you may have to wait. So there you go. Let me see. Man, so many questions. Miguel asks, will used Model 3 get free supercharging? No, I don't think any Model 3 gets free supercharging. Chris's Journey asks, how much do you think the fastest Model 3 will cost, and how much faster do you think it will go? Oh yeah, because they said there will be ludicrous mode. I think we'll be maybe under 4 seconds. I don't know, fast enough. So there's that. The Bird asks, what are your thoughts on the software behind the Model Y factory, Alien Dreadnought? I still don't know where they're going to build the Model Y or the Tesla Semi for that matter. They can't do it at Fremont. There's only two lines, and there's just not enough room. So I think they already have other plans, and they're working on something else somewhere else. So there you go. Joshua Francis asked, what's up with the snake charger? Don't think it's going to happen. Chris Curran, any battery improvements, longevity, energy density, etc.? Stay tuned. There are things that I feel we are going to learn very soon about the Model 3, but I unfortunately cannot share those with you. Corny Gamer asks, hey Ben, 1-year-old Tesla BMW i3 fully loaded can be purchased for $14,000. Sweet. I did not know that. Do you think the Model 3 will depreciate like this? No. So the way depreciation works, or I mean, geez, I don't know how deep we want to go here. Part of the reason that things depreciate is because there's a lack of scarcity, right? Your 1-year-old BMW i3, I can go to a dealer in almost any major city in the U.S. and in lots of different places and just buy one. I don't need to buy a used one, right? But the Model 3 won't be that way for a number of years. So the Model 3 is going to have a scarcity thing, which is, I think, actually going to make it appreciate in the short term and before you see any real depreciation. In fact, I have friends that have multiple reservations but don't plan on keeping the car at all. They just think, well, hey, I can buy this and sell it for more. So, I think unlike every other car in the history, this one may actually be good or be a positive. Okay. Yo, buddy asked, do you get pulled over for distracted driving when caught not having your hands on the wheel, other things when driving autopilot, blah, 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 or have they? I don't know. Default question, I've heard that they're doing software and hardware changes to the Model S and X to increase performance. Any chance to offer this to existing owners? I believe so. I believe that's all already being rolled out. Yes. What details about the Model 3 do you expect will be unveiled at the delivery event? better batteries. Can't say. Range. I think we're gonna have a flood of details. So as I mentioned, and let me just show you. So, oh man, hope I don't break stuff. I'm breaking the studio, guys. So this is my normal camera that I shoot with, and I've got this set up, and it's gonna be a bit shorter here. Let me just do this. Watch, I'm gonna probably break everything here. So I'm gonna be running around like this, and or I'll do it this way so you can see the whole time. Sharing with you guys everything that I'm learning about and seeing. You're probably going to get, in fact, so I don't have a press pass. So the press are probably going to be just bombarding all the new details and stuff all over. My video will be more of a vlog style, my experience at the event, and I'll be there the following day. Or that'll be up the following day. So I think we're going to find a ton out on the 28th. So just hang on till then, and it'll be pretty awesome. Okay. Do you think the Model 3 will have more range than the Model S? No. Actually, what's the top Model S right now? I think it's more than... I think the Model 3 will have 312 miles of range, approximately. That's EPA rated, whatever, right? What it'll actually come out to be is less than that. So there you go. At what point in time will the Model 3 deliveries do you think we can expect to choose more options? So the way they're doing it is when it's your turn... they will send you the option to do the configurator. So it'll be until then. But I think as anybody, like if I could go configure mine right now, I would probably do a video on it or just a live stream and share that with you. So you'll know the options much earlier. Okay. What do you think Elon said during the governor's meeting that Tesla stock is overpriced? Mistake or strategy? I didn't hear that part of it. Honestly, I almost fell asleep listening to him. It just wasn't my favorite interview of his. Hey, Ben, question. Why is Tesla concentrating so much with superchargers in UK and numbers still going up while Ireland and other countries only have a few? I don't know. I don't know what it maybe has to do with their sales strategy or rollout or demand. I would guess. Could have to do with tax benefits or things like that. So there, and thank you for pointing that out. I think a lot of people probably don't realize that there are different countries in the UK besides England. So there you go. Do you have any plan, Steve, do you know of any plan to introduce charge stations in townhouse apartment complex to build a bigger customer base? Really, so the way it works is you can get one installed. The apartment could call Tesla, and I believe they provide the wall chargers for free. And then you just have to, and then they think they have to install them or something like that. But yeah, that wouldn't be something that Tesla does. They kind of already have this program where businesses and people like that. That's how the destination charging thing goes, as far as I know. Model 3 Autopilot standard, do you have to pay? You'll definitely have to pay. Whoa, we jumped down, getting a couple more. What's the reason they don't build a battery pack so they can use higher voltage for charging? Well, I think they're going to. I think they're going to be doing some stuff. In fact, Porsche just had this crazy thing they built, this like giant tower. I think it's all solar, and it has a 350 kilowatt capacity for charging. So yeah, I think they will. I think, maybe this answers that earlier question about why we're not going to just do the changing of the batteries is maybe because they're going to be able to charge them, in half the time than you currently do. So there you go. I heard Ford will be releasing a hybrid F-150 pickup truck in the market in 2020. How popular do you think this will be, and how soon after do you think they will see a fully electric one? I think that's too late, and I don't think hybrid is enough. Hybrid, I mean, it depends on the price, but honestly, like they need to do fully electric because the electric motor has so much more torque. It's not even about going electric or getting better gas mileage. It's about it's more powerful, and you want power in a truck, and you want it immediately. So I think that's the play. The play isn't, hey, save the environment. The play is this thing will kick your current truck's ass, and that's why you want it. So I think that's what's going on with that. That's my thing anyway. So all right. Running low on questions here. I'm going to take a couple more. We've only got 10 minutes left before you guys have to get back to work. I know I say, over lunch, and obviously I'm not eating, but I'm just, this is the kind of thing I used to do when I worked in corporate America. Who doesn't Model 3 have a dashboard? Maybe that's why doesn't the Model 3 have a dashboard? So that's a good question. So the Model 3 only has one screen in the middle, and it doesn't have the one behind it because that would add an additional screen. There'd need additional wiring and additional computer. So it just adds and adds to the cost. And so that was one of the ways they could save a fair amount of money. So there you go. What do you think about other coming electric car companies like Lucid and Faraday? Well, I think Faraday's bankrupt, right? Or are they out of business? As far as I know, I think they are because their main investor pulled out. Lucid is having some issues as well. I'm all for it. I think that Tesla broke the mold, kind of really charged ahead and made this happen. So no one else would really be doing it like they are or really take it seriously. So I think that's awesome. I love seeing more competition in the market. I think it's going to benefit all of us. But at the same time, it sounds like these companies aren't doing that great. So I hope they can turn things around. And we can have some real competition in the market. That Faraday, the Lucid Air model, the base model that they put out at $52,500, those features looked amazing. Again, they haven't really made a car yet. They haven't even broke ground on the factory, to my knowledge. So yeah, we'll see. But I do like, that there's competition entering the market. I'm all for that stuff. Hey, Ben, will the Model Y be cheaper than the Model 3? I doubt it. It's going to be bigger, if I'm correct. And yeah, so I think that it'll be more expensive. It'll still be pretty cheap, though. It'll still be, for dollar, probably the best value you could get for an SUV or for a crossover, I guess that is. Why don't Tesla charge for their patents? That's a great question. There was a good interview, and I don't have a link. Sorry, you could go find it, I'm sure, where Tesla or Elon was saying, if we're all in a boat and the boat's sinking, and I have the best design for a bucket, it doesn't really do me any damn good if the boat sinks. So I may as well share that design with everyone else. I think that's fascinating. I'm shocked we haven't seen more companies basically take their designs and make their own. So there you go. Oh, look, Faraday Future just got a new CTO from BMW. Awesome. Great. Good for them. I hope they're successful. Will Tesla Superchargers be on offer for other cars to use one day? I don't think so. I think it'll have to be a Tesla. What effect will Tesla Semi have on the industry? Well, that's a good question. I guess it really depends on the economics of it. Can they make it affordable and all that? These are business decisions, right? If I'm running a business, my goal in our capitalist American viewpoint is to make profits, and so that is my main driver. Now you want to be a good person, you want to do treat your employees fairly, you want to do all these other good things, but generally that's the main goal, especially for a trucking company, let's say. So if you can make something that's objectively better, then you'll win. That's it, right? If you could make a truck that could haul more, is more autonomous, you reduces costs, all those kind of things, then you'll win. You'll do it. I think that'll be the key. In fact, if I were designing it, and I'm not an automotive designer at all, so don't feel free to throw things at me. But if I were doing it, I would probably start with, what do the economics have to be for the industry to adopt this? Because sexy and cool don't mean anything to me when I own a trucking company, right? Sexy and cool are great for when I want a car as a consumer, but in the B2B space, I care less about that, if at all. So there. Brent Quay, do you think Tesla will ever get into an aircraft? I don't think so. I think they're against that. Elon has said he doesn't like the idea of that. But again, the way I think of Tesla is what they make is the last thing. In fact, I'll give you a book recommendation called It Starts With Why, or Start With Why, by Simon Sinek. And it talks about the best companies at the center. They all have their why. Why did they exist? And customers, whether B2B or B2C, like consumers or businesses, we associate and identify with that. Well, why do people stand outside in the rain, in shitty weather conditions, to put $1,000 reservation down on a car or to buy an iPhone, right? There are very few companies in the world that have this. And it's because Tesla has a strong why. So people identify with that, right? In fact, my channel and the thousands of people that are on my email list and the tens of thousands that subscribe to my channel, we're all a part of this. We embrace this electric lifestyle. So it's something bigger than what they make. So I can't say whether or not they'll ever get an aircraft, but I can say that it doesn't really matter because they will be successful so long as they stay true to their why. Because as long as they do that, people like me and companies and everyone else that's a customer will stick with them, just like Apple. All right. I'm going to take 2 more questions here. You got 5 minutes. When is the delivery event? July 28th in San Francisco. Okay, I'll take a couple. We'll do a rapid fire. Matthew Peters, hey Ben, when do you think the Model Y will be announced and will it be smaller than the X? Yes, it'll be smaller than the X. My guess is maybe next March for when it'll be announced. How far out is the Model Y? I think they need a new factory, so I'm guessing 5 years. What color are you getting on your Model 3? I love white. I love white cars. I love the design of them. I love how they look. So yeah, I'll probably get white, although I already have a white Model S. And by the way, I got my son one of those radio flyer ones. I actually got it from the referral program, so thank you guys. And that one is white as well. So stay tuned for a fun little video on that. Space gray, yeah, that's cool. I would get space gray. I'm actually thinking, by the way, big announcement, watch out. I'm thinking about switching over to an iPhone later today. So tell me what you guys think about that. I've been on Android forever, but just with my family and everyone else, it would be easier. And I guess I just don't care. I used to be super into phones. I mean, I was really geeked out on this stuff for a while, but now with the family and running a business, it's like I just don't have time to care. So it seems like it'd be easier. So is that a good idea or bad idea? Leave me a comment and let me know. Okay, Max asks, is it possible there will be an exclusive config of Model 3 that will accelerate faster than the Model S P100D? I seriously doubt it. Do you know, Geo asks, do you know when we will know the exact price of the Model 3 in Europe? I imagine it'll be once you can configure it. So there you go. I wonder where the Tesla and the Boring Company will be in 20 years. Me too. It's fun to watch, isn't it? When can we expect European pricing? I do not know. Tesla versus Tesla. Yes, I posted a link about this. So I've been getting crap about how I say Tesla, which is, by the way, the exact same way Elon says it and Franz, the chief designer, say it. So, but it comes down to basically nobody gives a shit except people that watch my videos. And if you hate how I say it, that's fine. I love it. I love that you guys comment on it so much because it actually helps grow the channel. But it is funny to talk about. And there was a linguist that wrote this article about it. So there you go. All right, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate everyone. I love you guys so much. Thanks for joining me. We had over 1,000 people. In fact, there's more than 1,000 people watching right now. That just blows me away that we've gotten so far in such a short amount of time. So please do me a favor, like this, share this with everyone you know, post it on the Facebooks, the Reddits, the everywhere else. And I will see you guys back here on Thursday where I'm talking about solar and I'm talking about the impact I think solar is going to have on the coal industry, really getting deep into kind of some of that stuff. And if you have any questions or anything, hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Teslanomics. At Teslanomics Co. on Twitter, and you can visit the website and hit me up through the contact form there as well. So thanks again so much for joining me, and I will see you guys back here soon. Peace out.